Or should I be in a regular chair? Or?
Time to see what the Wizards are up to.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everyone. How's it going? Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Celebrate. And yeah, we have a few things
I like
to
your
talk about.
your festive sweater there, babe. Looking
Rob's taking me out on a date tonight.
good.
We don't get out of the house that often.
Yeah.
But we planned ahead this year.
Got some babysitting lined up.
I told him I got a Valentine's Day dress and he felt the pressure. And he made reservations. So anyways, let's get into this. So I know we've mentioned that we're going to be at PAX East this year. I want to let everyone know the schedule. This wasn't our newsletter that went out this morning, but on Saturday we'll have a Star Realms Legend Series, and on Sunday we'll have a Hero Realms Legend Series. Winner becomes a card in the game. You've seen some of the amazing art in the Hero Realms Legends Kickstarter of what it looks like when you begin. This is actually an example of Jeremy Howard art based on his likeness here as well as an example. So yeah, and then on Sunday, so Saturday here, Star Realms, Sunday Hero Realms, and you'll register through the PAX East tourney headquarters. You don't have to worry about registering ahead of time. There should be plenty of room.
And it's free event.
And it's free. Yes, we also will have lots of prizes and stuff in addition to that. So yeah, I'm excited about that. A reminder that we have Valentine's Day up on our website, and we love you too. So, thanks for coming and joining us on the stream.
Yeah.
And
so
now, well, go ahead.
Yeah. So on the PAX tournaments, we're gonna have promo cards we're giving away every round. We've got special play mats for the top 8. And of course, the winner becomes a card in the game, and we'll have cool trophy. So really fun tournament to play in. Great, great prizes, and the community of players is really awesome. So if you're at PAX PAX East, sign up for the tournaments. You can sign up for them in the at the regular tournament registration day of event. So yeah, we'll
definitely come if you're
around.
Battle. And when are the events going to be at Origins? Well, I don't know that, but we are moving towards a model where we have the Star Realms events on Saturday and the Hero Realms on Sunday. We used to do Hero Realms on Friday and Star Realms on Saturday, and we've just found that we don't get as much participation when it's not on the weekend. It will mean that the Sunday one will start earlier in the day, so that we can make sure that it's done by the time the expo hall closes. And we've been known to move the tournament out into the hallway if we need to, into like the food court area. That's happened
rarely
once or twice in all the tournaments that we've run. Hey, nice to see you too. So yeah, we're excited about that. We have a couple of other local events in the next couple of weeks. Actually, this coming Saturday, we're doing just a local indie board game showcase. We're local indie designers, and we're probably the biggest designers that are considered indie.
We're
still
Boston,
anyway,
by the way.
We're local, so yeah, they invited us to come and participate. But I think there'll also be some indie designers there showing off their games, and that is in Boston at the it's run by the I'll post the link because I can't really explain it.
Sure.
If I post the link, you can check it out if you're local. And then the following weekend, Rob and I will be at TotalCon. At TotalCon, we don't have a booth. We're special guests there, so we're just going to be hanging out playing games. So it's a great time. If you just want to come and hang out and play games. If anyone wants, we can bring prototypes or stuff like that too. But that is, us. We want to participate more in the local gaming community.
Yeah. So
that's
New
part of that.
Englanders, come by, say hi.
So New Englanders, come by, say hello. We'd love to see you. And so let me go back to the slides, and I will hand off to Rob too. I wonder what Rob's going to talk about.
What can I talk about today? So Hero Realms Kickstarter, we are almost done. It ends on Thursday, so just a couple days left. And the Kickstarter is doing phenomenally well. We just passed like 5,000 backers. We're right around $800,000 backed. Ridiculous quantity of promo cards unlocked. I believe we're at like 58 or 56 or somewhere in that zone. So really large number of promo cards. And just to give you perspective, like the original Hero Realms and the Hero Realms Journeys promo packs, those are like 30 something cards. So this is a massive promo pack. And the last 48 hours, we tend to get a lot of backers in that time frame. So I imagine we're going to be unlocking a bunch more. So that's, so lots of awesome Kickstarter exclusives there. And of course, if you're backing at the adventure tier, there is the Kickstarter exclusive Necromancer pack, which is super cool. And of course, the Dungeons box set, which we're really excited about. You can back at the Dungeons level and get this, which comes with 2 new characters, the Alchemist and the Barbarian, all new 80 card market deck. You're going to get you get score dials, a game board, which is double-sided PvP and campaign side for the game board, a 12 encounter campaign for campaign adventure, which will take your characters from level 1 to level 12 as you play. Finish the last adventure, you'll be level 13 at the end, level 13 at the end of it. Each of those encounter envelopes contains different monsters you're fighting, different stuff about the encounter, maybe additional cards, all kinds of cool stuff. So it's a legacy campaign in there. And Deb and I actually did a playthrough of way back when I was first designing this stuff. Deb helped me with some playthroughs back when all my cards were like writing on Sharpies and Sharpie on paper and like. But we got to play with some pretty nice prototypes where we've it was still on our home printer, but got to put the actual art in the cards, etc. And we did a playthrough of the first couple scenarios, and then we've actually put a video for the scenario 1 play up on the Kickstarter page, so you can see that that play on the Kickstarter. You can see Groggs the Barbarian and Roxy the Alchemist take on the Troll, and then and we'll be posting. We're working on a video for Encounter 2, and we'll post that up at some point, so you'll be able to see that encounter as well. So
I'm just gonna say I'm glad that I had Rob in my party, even though he chooses to heal himself over me. He's very knowledgeable about my abilities and skills. So if I miss something, that is a nice thing about playing cooperative. And one of the things we hear a lot from people that are looking to play cooperative is that in our game, each person takes their own turn, but like you can give input, like, hey, maybe you could get a couple more damage if you do that other ability there. And so as a team, we played some challenging scenarios there. You'll have to watch to see if we beat the Troll, but we eventually made it to Encounter 2. So watch and see. And Kelly's here working on editing Encounter 2 in our office today, so hopefully we'll have that up soon too. They do have spoilers because we're playing the full.
So these are the full Encounter 1 and Encounter 2. Now this is out of 12 encounters, so if you don't want to watch, totally reasonable if you want surprises, but we're showing the full first 2 encounters, but there is so much more content in the cooperative campaign, so plenty of stuff we're not spoiling.
All right, we do have a bunch of questions, so I don't know if you want to go cover
questions. We can hop into some questions.
Stuff. So let's see. Okay, Dan the Meek. Is Watery Graves and the remaining 2 campaigns going to have the extra treasures for the original character classes and only the original character classes?
So yes, Watery Graves will have 4 additional treasures for the campaign. So for each of the original 5 character classes. And Watery Graves is part 3 of the Ruin of Thandar series. If you have Ruin of Thandar, the Lost Village, and Watery Graves, you'll be able to level up the fighter, cleric, wizard, ranger, thief from level 1 up to level 16. And and we'll post stuff on the website when the adventure packs are like going out to backers and going to be in retail in a couple months. We'll post the information on there, the rules in there on how the leveling system works. So basically, we're tweaking the leveling system in the physical game to match how we've tweaked it for digital. So obviously, we've been able to do a lot of play and focus on the digital, in the digital game, Hero Realms Digital, on how the levels work. So we got backer feedback, tweaked things over time, and we're going to be making it so the physical game and the digital game work the same. In the Ruin of Thandar campaign, you'll still get the stuff it says at those times, but basically we'll tell you what level equivalent you are after you get your stuff. So one of the nice things about that is you'll be able to jump into a campaign midstream. So let's say your friends have played through the first couple Ruin of Thandar things, and they want you to join them for Watery Graves. You can create a character at the appropriate level to match where they are, and then jump in and play. You can also play level up characters for PvP, etc. We're designing Hero Realms so that characters can go all the way up to level 24, and the stuff that you'll need to go from level 17 to 20 will be in the campaign box set number 4, and then for 21 to 24, levels 21 to 24, those treasures will be in the final in the campaign box set 5 of the Ruin of Thandar series. Or of course, you'll be able to get all the treasure cards and skill and ability cards in the adventure decks that we're making for the original 5 characters. So in the future, from now on, every character is going to have a character pack, which has the sort of starting character, basically at the level 3 stats, and then an adventure deck, which will allow you to create a character at any level from 1 to 24, their entire skill and ability trees, and all 20 treasure cards that they have the option of finding through their course of leveling up. So every class will have a character pack and an adventure deck. So new players coming into the game, that's the model they'll follow: character pack, adventure deck. And obviously for people who've been following the game for a while and have those Ruin of Thandar campaigns, if you want, you can just wait and get the last treasures through the new campaigns. Let's see. Will there ever be a version of the campaign which don't have the original class treasures anymore due to them in the adventure pack now? Possible. And for from new markets we're moving into, like foreign language markets where we haven't put this stuff out, we're going to use the new model and take those skill and ability things out of those box sets and put them into adventure decks. It's just an easier to understand model where, okay, I buy any character and its adventure deck, and I can take it and play it in any campaign. And if you don't have the first parts of the campaign and you buy a later one, that's totally fine. It's like, all right, this campaign's for characters levels 12 to 16, no problem. I've got my thief character pack and my thief adventure deck, and there's rules in there for making up a character of any level, so I'll just make up a 12th level character and we can play. So it's going to be a much easier system for new players. The transition, I know, is a little confusing for the existing for existing players, but that's the plan. Okay.
This was an or, so I'm not sure.
So basically, English language players, the Ruin of Thandar campaign will end up, if you get the adventure deck, you're going to end up with doubles of, and if you get the adventure deck and the Rune of Thandar campaign, you'll end up with doubles for those original classes. So you could choose not to buy the adventure decks and then, just use the stuff from the Thandar sets. You could, get the adventure decks, and then you'll get the treasure cards early, and you'll have the current version of the cards. Although, cards will continue to get errata and change as as we continue to add new content in the game. We may discover, when we add, let's say in the future, we add a paladin character class, we might find an interaction where we discover, oh, this thief item is actually a little too strong, due to this, interaction of cards. So we're going to constantly be looking at that, checking stats in the app and making sure that all the classes are fair against each other. Now we're doing with the Hero Realms Dungeon, we're doing that digital testing on the beta for Legends backers. Right now we're going to continue doing that, adding the new characters, etc. So we want to get as much of that balance done before we print the first edition of these cards to minimize the amount of errata that happens in the future. So that's sort of our new paradigm for the Hero Realm stuff.
So this is a good question, and maybe it's feedback that we take back to the team. But basically, if you had these different sets, like how could you tell the difference between like the original, upgraded skill or treasure card and the new version if you happen to have multiple sets?
So for so basically the copyright line will be be one way. Additionally, with the treasure cards, we're going to be changing their formatting a little bit, so they'll have a little icon on them to indicate at what level you get those treasures. So, okay, let's say there's treasures that you get at level 11, then those level 11 treasures will have a little 11 on the treasure icon, which is not something we had before. So there'll be various ways that you can tell. Copyright line is always there, and we will also put the latest versions of cards on our website. So when we finalize our print files, we're like, okay, this is the versions that we're going with for the actual printing. At some point, we're going to put those cards up onto a Kickstarter page, or sorry, a web page on our website, and you'll be able to look at those. And also, we'll post an update to the Kickstarter for that. So if you'll be able to link to it from there as well. So if you want to see what the latest versions of the cards are, you can always go there. And of course, you can always play the cards as printed. It's sort of, if we're running an official tournament, we will, post what versions of cards that we're using. And just like in a collectible card game tournament, you'll be able to use any version of the card, but it will work like the current version. So, so that's for competitive play. That's how we're going to handle it. And then, of course, for casual play, you can use the updated version if you want. You can use your original. Totally up to you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Rob. Hey, Barrett. Happy to hear your wow.
Getting all in. Nice.
Thank you. We're excited about it.
Yeah, that is a lot of content. It's going to be really fun. You'll be set for Hero Realms for quite a while.
This is a common question. So Al, for people that play in our tournaments and win our tournaments and are featured a card based on their likeness, reach out to me. I can get you some additional copies of that card specifically. I understand that people like to have some extra copies of their card, but certainly everyone can get extra packs of the extra packs of the Kickstarter exclusive promo card packs for this Kickstarter campaign. They would just get one with each tier.
There's one per tier. I know in the recent Star Realms Kickstarter, we allowed people to back extra tiers. We may extra kits. We may promo packs. We may do that. We're not sure. We'll look into it. But for Legend backers who have won the right to be on a card, we can get you some extra copies of the card once it's out. So yeah, like Deb said, shoot her an email.
Or if you want to have a giant blown up image of yourself, talk to me. I can give you permission to print that art. which Rob has a giant blown up image of me on metal in
Yeah.
his office.
Yeah,
The
really
illusionist
sweet.
from Hero Realms, which looks beautiful. Let's see, what other questions do we have?
I like the
this
comment.
comment?
Of, yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah. Bring gas.
when Debbie was
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that I
If
healed
you're gonna
myself.
heal yourself instead of me, I'll just shoot at you.
Well, you know, as alchemist, so maybe throw some acid on me, give me something to heal.
Oh, this is a good question. What do you attribute the huge success of the Hero Realms Dungeons Kickstarter so far? I'm going to give my opinion, and then you give
Sure,
yours,
yeah,
because
absolutely.
yours will probably be a long one. It's I think that the characters, like, people are always very interested in new characters, but also that it's a box set which has everything you need as a new player. So I know for me, when I'm backing Kickstarters and I go to an expansion Kickstarter, I never know, like, is it standalone? Which tier do I get? So I know for experienced players, maybe it was more confusing, but for new people coming to this Kickstarter, it's clear, I think, and I hope we tried to make it clear that you could get the Dungeons tier and just start there, and it would have a little bit of everything for you. And that's also our vision for that product in the retail arena, that, because I'm always out there, like, promoting Hero Realms Cooperative, but you do need to get the base game and the campaign and the character pack. So this allows people to very simply buy one thing, and they get to try out everything. And then, once they know they really like it,
Then they can track down
get
all those
the
pieces,
other
yeah.
packs and stuff. I mean, so yeah. So I think that's part of it. But also, we have been marketing this for a long time because we changed how we run our Kickstarter process. So, Rob, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So basically, we've always had a process where we get a game, we design a game, get to the point where we're playing it, and we're like, okay, this is really fun, and we'll get art components together. We'll get art components together and get it. We got it to the point where, okay, we have enough to show what this game is like. We bring it to Kickstarter, and then the game would be funded, and then we would spend time doing more development on the game, tweaking it, changing it, etc. So, for example, like in the original Hero Realms Kickstarter, we had planned on the Rune of Thandar being a certain size, and we ended up, Danny and Ben came up with all kinds of cool additional mechanics and stuff. They actually ended up doubling the size of that product, etc. But those kinds of changes and tweaks and new artwork and all the stuff that we add to make stuff nicer, that takes unknown amounts of time. So we had a bunch of Kickstarters that were late.
She wants you.
Then, oh, hey, honey. Then when COVID hit and it messed with, shut down factories, it messed with our ability to get prototypes early on, slowed production, shipping got messed up, and our offices were closed for a while. So those two things combined ended up creating just ridiculously too long delays on some of our Kickstarters. So we decided, during COVID, okay, we're going to change our process. We are no longer going to bring games to Kickstarter in the sort of, advanced concepts, game design, post-game design, pre-game development stage. We're going to get games much further along, get as much basically get, as close to print ready as possible before we run the Kickstarter. So, so that the windows so that we're just dealing with all the pains of the production issues, not doing a unknown amount of design and development time on the product post Kickstarter. So this Kickstarter was actually planned for like a year and a half ago, and then we ended up pushing it way back because we're like, okay, we're just gonna do all that stuff we do where we make more cool content and decide, oh, we want to add this and that and the other thing. And that's one of the reasons why there is so much content in this Kickstarter. So we've got the 6 new characters. We've got adventure decks for all of them. We've got Watery Graves, which installment 3 of the Rune of Thandar campaign. We've got the Dungeons box set, and it has its own 12-part encounter. We also made a massive set of promo cards, which I honestly thought was going to be like 2+ Kickstarters worth of promos, but you guys have been doing an awesome job of unlocking stuff. So so I think so that sort of long period of time of people waiting for this to come out, I think was an issue. The fact that we did the Heroes Digital recently and that's grown the community has been an issue. And of course, the fact that there's just so much content to buy. There's so everything is awesome and very reasonably priced, but there's a lot of it. So when you add it all together, like if you're a new player coming in at the all-in tier, it's a big purchase. So that also adds to the dollar. So all those things together have really helped a ton, and yeah, the response has been awesome, and and the product is just it's just so cool, and tons and tons of awesome art, and I'm really excited about this promo card set. It is gigantic. I can't wait to see how big it is when by the time we get done this week, because as I said, last couple days usually get tons of backers, so I think we're going to be unlocking quite a few more, and we're already close to 60 promo cards, so yeah, it's going to be a big set.
All right, let's see. Yes, I don't know if we've ever had Buttercup on the stream.
This is Buttercup. So we have three Pomskis, Rogue, Teddy, and Buttercup here. She's our littlest, and she's a Pomeranian Husky mix. So so she looks like a tiny little husky.
All right, bosses, Rob.
Yes. So I actually, in the comment section of Kickstarter, I asked for ideas for new boss decks, not for this Kickstarter, because again, we're designing, everything's already designed, but for future, the next Hero Realms Kickstarter, once we get this, wrapped up and to the printer, the Hero Realms team is going to be starting work on the next block of stuff. So we'll have more characters in the future. More boss decks is something people have been interested in. So basically, we want to know what content you guys want, and we can get to work, designing it for the future. So if you have, if there's particular bosses that you'd like to play as or play against, throw those in. So things we know we're doing. We know we're going to make more characters down the road. We know we're going to have the parts 4 and 5 for the Ruin of Thandar campaign. We know we're going to have a part 2 for the Dungeons campaign. So the Dungeons campaign takes you up to level 12. You level up to level 13 at the end of the last encounter, and then we'll have another set that takes you from another campaign box that takes you to 13 to 24 for that. So we know that will be coming in the future, and we know people are interested in more boss decks. But any additional things that you're looking for, stuff that you'd love to see in the game, that's the kind of thing we'd love to hear about in the Kickstarter. You can jump in the comments and throw out ideas. And we're going to look at all that stuff, and instead of incorporating it into this Kickstarter like we would have done in the past, we'll take that stuff and we'll start working on it for the next time.
All right, this is a little constructive feedback to our game designers. One of the big selling points for me on Star Realms and Hero Realms is not having a wall of text. New beta stuff has a few cards with chapters written on them. Don't kill a good thing, please.
Yeah, so this is something where you're seeing, on the because we're doing the beta live on the in the campaign on the Hero Realms Digital. You guys are seeing stuff at a stage which you normally don't see it. There's there's some cleanup that that happens to reduce those text walls. So first off, we try and keep the base sets and the character packs very clean. Try and minimize the amount of stuff that's there. Once you start getting into the leveling up the characters and the campaign play, things may get a little more complicated, especially as we add more and more classes. We're trying to get more, more and more different mechanics into the game. So you may see, stuff with a little more text, but we will try and keep it down as much as we can, especially with those products which you'll introduce new players with, like the market deck and the characters as they come out of the character
Thanks for the feedback, though. We will
pack.
share it with the team too. So different languages. So we do have partners that translate our products and sell them in their regional areas, like Yellow for French and Devere for Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian.
Yep.
So one thing that we are doing is we've been improving our processes to get them the files earlier in the process, so that they can, our goal is to align our retail releases so that they can have the new content available in a similar time frame that we have it available in English. And I know there's been a lot of requests for the Kickstarter exclusive items to also be available in other languages. So we need to work with our partners to figure that out, but we would like to make, that exclusive material available in other languages. We just need to figure out the right way to do that, since right now we don't do the other languages as part of the Kickstarter. We've discussed doing that as a possibility, but it's not part of our process right now. But we, of course, would like for you to be able to get that.
Yeah, so we will definitely make all content available in the various languages. The Kickstarter exclusive stuff in English will be some form of limited release to basically match the exclusive style of content. So it may be that we make a special pack in French or Spanish or whichever language, which is available for a limited time, like they print it once and or you have 3 months to order it or whatever. Not sure, but basically that content will come to every language, and the stuff that's limited in English will also be limited in the other regions. The exact method of that release we have to work out with our partners, so we will, we'll figure it out. But basically that content will be coming, and we may be able to in future Kickstarters integrate the languages, or we might not. There's a lot of logistics dealing with a lot of different languages, fulfillment worldwide. Just doing the fulfillment worldwide in English to thousands and thousands and thousands of people is extremely challenging all on its own, before bringing in like other languages, etc. So we'll see, but don't worry, you will get all the content down the road.
Yeah, and I think at least one of our partners was looking at using some of the promo cards for prize content for organized play. It depends on the region. Not everyone does as much organized play. So yes, we have definitely heard that feedback. Keep the feedback coming. Dan and everyone, no questions are bad questions. Anyone that comes to our streams knows we'll even answer the same question multiple times on the same stream. So if you got here and you're not sure your question was answered, we sometimes will wait until we're done talking about a particular topic until we jump to questions, but I try to get to all the questions during the stream. So the whole point of this is to be here for you to answer questions, and we do our best.
Yeah. And of course, you can also, while the Kickstarter is live, you can jump in and ask questions in the comment sections, and we'll be on there on a regular basis. And then when we don't have a Kickstarter going, you can always hit us up on social media, customer support, etc., or every week, or not every frequently, we're here answering questions on the stream.
Raphael, our artist, would make you look badass. So, yes, but I know I unfortunately not everyone's able to participate in tournaments. We have done a couple of online digital tournaments, so that's something, once we get through the beta for the Heroes Dungeons, maybe we can look at doing again where we played in the app and someone could win in the app, which we did that during COVID. And I think that was really nice because everyone around the world could participate. Let's see. So Agency 13 is really hoping that the card that he's on gets unlocked in the Kickstarter. So you should just be posting around in all the board game groups.
I have a good feeling that we're gonna get there. It's it is. There are a lot of stretch goals left to be unlocked, but as I said, the activity in the last couple of days is usually pretty extreme. So I guess the answer to this question is we'll see where we get, but I I'm optimistic that that you will get unlocked. So
Me too. Okay. My outfit today is quite felonious. I love it. Thank you. I not quite sure what it means for my outfit to be felonious, but I'll take that as a big compliment.
we're gonna assume that's awesome.
I like Valentine's Day because I'm already really like pink. So yeah, so I shop a lot around this season because there's a lot more pink things for sale everywhere. So yes. Let's see what else we have here. Boss ideas: a beehive or ant swarm. Every turn spawns new ants or bees. Bee stings and ant bites as poison damage tokens. That sounds pretty cool. Oh, bees have flying and can't get hit by melee. Yeah. Thank you. Dan. Oh, yes. You mentioned before. So, yes, we agree that it would be awesome to have some more campaign stories for kids. One game, Kapow, I'll just mention it that when we were playtesting Kapow, it was during COVID. So our daughter was home all the time with us. And at the time was probably 6, I would say. And we wouldn't have played Kapow with her, but she insisted. She really loved it because with the dice placement, she couldn't read at that time, but she could still place the dice and play as a different character. So it's not a sort of story driven game, but just want to mention that is one of our games that is kid friendly because it has a lot of icons and how you're placing the dice. But yes, we have done some initial exploration of some kid friendly art, and that looked really awesome. So I'm hoping that we will see more projects coming out because I feel I play at least as many kid games as I do adult games personally. Oh yeah, and Robot Quest. Robot Quest, yes, absolutely. The kids are all drawn to Robot Quest.
Yeah, Robot Quest Arena is thematically very kid friendly. So it's very cute world. And none of the cards have any like scary evilness or or violent or you basically all the violence is sort of cartoony robot versus robot stuff, so very like Pokemon-esque. So it's a very very kid friendly and awesome game. Like as adults will like love it, and it's really fun to play with the kids as well. Basically need to be able to read because the cards have text, but it's not complicated text. So yeah, great for young kids and adults as well. And for Hero Realms, we're definitely looking at the possibility of figuring out how to make some art alternative cards for especially for the Necro stuff, which it's designed for grown-ups, and some of the Necro stuff deals with scary monster types and such. So yeah, some of the cards I know are a little edgy for the younger kids.
Yeah. All right. You're welcome, Pin. And then Raphael asked, one of the things Raphael really likes about Magic the Gathering and now Star Realms and Hero Realms is the cards have a mechanical identity based on their color. So we have the 4 factions.
Yeah.
A lot of people really like that. It helps you kind of know right away when you see the color what kind of card it's going to be. Are you thinking of making cards multicolored in the future that will mix?
Yeah. So basically in Star Realms we already have this with the United set and Stellar Allies, but basically there's multiple sets with dual faction cards, etc.
United expansion
packs. And this is definitely some design space that we'll probably explore at some point with Hero Realms. Thematically, it's pretty easy to do if you had like an Imperial soldier who started dabbling in the Necros cult. You could easily see how you could get some like dual faction characters or actions coming up there. And there's been some interesting talk on the Kickstarter campaign of like how to do like dual class characters and those sorts of things. So yeah, there's a lot of cool potential to mix stuff in the game.
I'm not sure if you've played Ascension Tactics, but we definitely have had requests for miniatures for our games. I know that Ascension
Yeah.
Tactics is
So
miniatures.
so certainly possible. Not something that's in the short term plan. Obviously, Robot Quest Arena is a board miniatures game. Different world, of course, but definitely could be something that we make at some point for for Hero Realms. That's we're doing more things with miniatures, and of course, the Hero Realms world is fantastic for that sort of thing. So we'd love to, something like that. We'd love to do. We'd also love to potentially make like source books for regular campaign play, for role playing play in the Hero
Mhm.
Realms worlds, etc. So it's a cool world, and there's a lot of possibility of doing neat stuff with it. So something like that is definitely possible in the future.
So, Rob, have you ever thought of making yourself a master in the game?
That is a cool idea. Hey, haven't done it yet, but yeah, being an evil boss and beating up the players and having the players beat me up, it would be kind of fun.
And we have Agency 13 talking about Robot Quest Arena, looking
Yeah.
forward to playing that with their daughters. I'm looking forward to have kids just so I can play with
Nice.
uh, okay, yeah, and they're suggesting nice cross. So if you missed it on a previous stream, some people with their kids have created sort of alt art cards that they use called nice cross instead of neck cross for the evil cards. It could be a Kickstarter add-on. I'm not sure what this was. Maybe a typo. Oh, Jeremy, hi. Are
Hey,
you ever
Jeremy.
considering a miniature-based hero title? Oh, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
similar to the
Yeah.
previous
So
questions.
again, definitely something that's possible. We don't have it in the short queue, but yeah, it'd be a great world for it.
I haven't gone deep in Star Realms. I have the base. Oh, okay. There was some
Yeah.
people were saying to Raphael that yes, there is we have a lot of expansions, but
Yeah.
yeah,
So
there's a set of packs that have the multicolor.
yeah. And I believe when you're playing with the frontiers things, which check factions, if a multi-faction thing comes up, I believe the player chooses between the two. I'd have to double check the rules, but yeah, that's all that. Those are compatible with the cooperative frontiers play if you want to, if you wanted to add it into your stuff.
Okay, I'm going to check out this post. So, a community member wrote an article on sacrifice and included a bunch of the nice cross fan made art.
Hmm.
So, thank you, Jeremy. We're excited and happy about it as
Yeah.
well. So Rob, would you want to get back to the slides?
All right. So, as I said, we have a video up on the Kickstarter page where Debbie and I take on the enraged troll. You can see a version of the cards, the master card here. Each encounter has an envelope, and you open it up, and it has various contents. The first one has the enraged troll, and it also has the palace guard. So basically, this is an additional market deck card. So Dungeons comes with an 80 card market deck for PvP play. But as you open up these envelopes and you're playing these encounters, there may be more stuff for your market deck in there. So, for example, in the first encounter, you you're in the palace when monsters attack, and you with some palace guards go and investigate, and basically each player starts with a palace guard in play. And this is a card that you could play just in regular PvP Hero Realms. 4-cost champion has a special ability that when you acquire it, goes right to play. So basically, very powerful market deck card. Says obviously being able to buy a champion directly into play is huge. 2 defense guard, 2 combat allies for 2 health. So obviously, weak for a 4 cost card, but 4 cost card that comes directly into play. Super awesome. Anyway, this card is in. You get 5 copies of it in that envelope, and that allows each player to start with 1 in play. So in a 2-player game, you just put the other 3 aside, and you have those in the first encounter. So while you're fighting the troll, you've got these palace guards helping you out, and you'll have fun little surprises like that as you play through the campaign. And in the first encounter, it's just a big monster, no minions, so it's you versus the giant trolls. The trolls in the master area. Player areas are always clear in that first encounter. So if you need to heal a friend, you totally can, although you don't have to. Like maybe Debbie doesn't deserve to be healed. But
I was like, you'll survive this turn.
You got this.
I'll heal myself.
And then in the second encounter, which you are fighting against a bunch of worms, and there's a giant cocoon that they're all swarming around, and so this one, the main threat is the minions, and we've got these. There's these wormling cards, and these guys are you go into your play area, so you have to clear them out before you can hit the master or heal a friend, etc. And these guys are particularly nasty because their defense is equal to the doom count. So their defense starts out low in the early turns, but it gets bigger and bigger as the game progresses. So like when the doom count is each round, the doom count goes up by 1. So when the doom count gets to 3, they have 3 defense. When the doom count gets to 5, they have 5 defense. So you have a little score dial where you can start it at 1
to 25
and click it up. Yeah, if you do not want it to get to 25. So those guys grow as time goes on. Doom cards are another thing that you're going to get in the campaign. These, after you finish an encounter, you have the option of just pressing on with at your current health, or getting healed up and going to full health. If you heal up, you're gonna be taking extra time. The evil below will be growing stronger, so that will increase the doom count. So you'll start the game with a higher doom count. So, for example, you may, at the end of the first encounter, you may decide to rest. If you do, great, you're at full health, but you're going to be adding one of these doom count cards, which will make the future encounters a little more challenging because they have more time to prepare for you. And there's some more mechanics around resting and ways doom cards can enter or leave your party area throughout the campaign. So lots of stuff to discover as you go through those packets. So yeah, basically, you'll there will be party treasure cards, negative things that affect the party, individual things that players get that are in addition to the character level up stuff, and of course, as you play through these missions, you'll level up. So for example, the alchemist starts with a dissolve card as their level 1 ability. This just allows them to just sacrifice a card from their hand, so they can get rid of a gold or a dagger, some weak starting card, so they'll be less likely to draw all starting cards in a future hand. But as they level up, they'll improve that ability card, so that goes to a minor transmutation, where you get to sacrifice a card and then acquire a card of cost with a cost of up to 2 more. So you could use it on a starting card, get rid of a dagger and get a 2-cost card like a fire gem, or or a 1 or 2-cost card from the market. Acquire it for free, and this gets better and better as you level up through the campaign. Same thing with the barbarian. The barbarian starts with the growl ability card at level 1, which can make your opponent discard. And in the campaign play, because the master does not have a deck in the Dungeons campaign, when you make them discard, instead you get to draw and discard a card yourself. So in PvP, make your opponent discard. In the Dungeons campaign, you're going to move through your deck more quickly. And different campaigns will have different mechanics they use for translating PvP stuff to the campaign play. But when you level up with the barbarian to level 2, you're going to replace the growl with the bellow card, which gives you an option to either stun a champion or get that discard effect. So basically, your characters will get those level up bonuses as you level up, but there's also going to be choices that you're making in the campaign. So, for example, with the Palace Guard, at the end of the first encounter, you have to decide, okay, are we going to leave the Palace Guard behind to guard the palace, or do we want to bring them with us into the dungeon to help us? And if and you get to make that decision, and there will be either way, different stuff will happen, and you get to have that sort of different play experiences based on the choices that you're making in the campaign.
One question was DC as stats. So have we thought about having a Doom counter icon? Is that, I think what this question is, instead of just the letters DC?
Yeah, so basically, among other, certain things are not finalized. So for example, Doom count, that's been my internal design name, and as we're growing the test pool, etc., we're going to be getting feedback. But yeah, an icon is possible. I thought about maybe having a different name for it, because right now I have a Doom clock, the thing that you click up. We have Doom cards, those individual cards you get when something bad in the campaign happens, and it makes your future encounters trickier, like maybe you need to rest or other things that could generate them. And we also have the Doom count, which is the clock plus the cards. Unfortunately, all of those have the same initials, so I probably need to do some name changes. But yeah, potentially having an icon, etc. But yeah, many things the bad guys have will reference that Doom count, and so basically some things get tougher as hitting for more damage. Maybe they're harder to kill, etc. As the turns click up. So your deck's getting more powerful, of course, because you're buying cool stuff from the market, etc. But the bad guy, this is a way for the bad guys to ramp in power, and I apply that in different ways through through the campaign. So you'll have different challenges to fight through.
Yeah, you're bringing to mind some Justice League thoughts. Yeah, some of these people.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, DC Comics. Yeah. And one more card I want to show you guys. Someone who was talking about poison in things. So in the second encounter, there's various things that go on that can poison you, and when you become poisoned, you get one of these poison cards in your discard pile. If you draw a poison card, it's a dead card. You can't play it. There's no, it's unplayable. While it's in your hand, if you happen to be healed while it's in your hand, you can sacrifice the card. You just get rid of it. But if you don't manage to get rid of it at the end of your turn, when you get to your discard phase and you discard any cards remaining in your hand, discard a poison card, you're going to lose 3 health. So these both clog up your deck and will hurt you over time. So it's a fun mechanic that that we that's in some of the encounters in the campaign.
Thanks. There was, so yeah, here's another suggestion, ruin timer. So anyone that had suggestions, throw them out. I would love to hear them. In my adventure storage box, should I move the treasures from the campaign treasures divider and put them with the skills and abilities divider for each character going forward?
This is one of the things that we're looking at with with dividers. I think that it's a better method to have the stuff with a character because then you'll be able to take the character and play it through any campaign. Now, obviously, if you have the adventure decks and the campaign stuff, you can do both. You can have them with the campaign and with characters, or you just have them with the characters. Or if you prefer, keep them with the Rona Thandar stuff. That's obviously your collection. You can sort it however you like. But yeah, I'm looking at for myself storing them with the skill and ability cards so that I have all the stuff for leveling up my character in one place.
Oh, we had a question back here from Al. Some people being on one card is just not enough for them. So
Nice,
he's looking for more ways to become a legend.
So this is for Kapow. It's tricky because there's a lot less. There's a lot less characters. So basically, in Kapow, we have these big player boards, which and let you play as a completely different character with different powers and abilities. It's kind of the equivalent of the character classes in Hero Realms or the legendary commanders in Star Realms. So there is a limited number of them. There's 6 in the original set, 6 in Volume 2.
World Championship.
So yeah, while it would be possible to do something like that, it would have to be rarer than a Legend series that we do for Star Realms and Hero Realms, because obviously in those games it's there's a lot of people in those universes. You've got fleets and fleets of people in the Star Realms universe, and tons of different champions and characters in the Hero Realms universe. So it's fairly easy to add people into real people into those games. A little bit trickier in Kapow.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So there was a.
You won't think it's so awesome when you're poisoned.
I had a question up here from Wash Bearable.
So basically we are uploading stuff to the printer. There's some items where we're going over some final tweaks to wording and such. So basically we're printing with Panda, same guys who did the original Sorcerer. We're all set with being booked with them, and we're currently uploading various files to the printer now. There is a whole lot of Sorcerer content. Tons of stretch goals got unlocked. There are tons of characters, lineages, domain packs, packaging for all those, etc. So we're pushing a bunch of files in. I suspect we'll be done in the next few weeks getting everything into the printer, but we're like dropping files on them continuously at this stage. So we're doing our final wrap on Sorcerer, getting all those getting all that stuff in. I know that has been our longest most delayed product, but oh my gosh, the Sorcerer stuff is so cool, and it's all available up on the tabletop simulator if you want to look at it, play it, kick the tires, etc. So yeah, that's where we're at with Sorcerer. And of course, when we get pre-production proof from the printer, we'll of course share that with everybody.
I think we are done with all of our
questions. So yeah, we are wrapping the Hero Realms Kickstarter this week. Feel free to ask more questions on the Kickstarter page in the comment section. We'll for the next few days we'll be on there continuously. It was a lot of great questions this week. So yeah thanks everybody.
Really good. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks everybody.
Oh, wait. There might be a question.
Wait, final question.
Oh, well, thanks, Double Ducks. Here's a strong finish.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. I hope I'm really hoping we unlock every single promo card I designed. That'd be super exciting. So yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully get
Yeah,
there.
we need to get Agency 13 on his card. So
Uh,
we can do it. I've been
Fortunate
posting.
George.
I was up last night posting the playthrough around in a bunch of places. So, if there's anywhere you go where there's board gamers, feel free to post that or other things. But we're doing everything we can to make it happen. And we'll have the Encounter 2 video done soon as well. We've been working on that as well. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye. With bated breath.